Hey everybody, today we're going to be going over an awesome new Atari Lynx build for your Arcade Stick Pro on today's Retro Time. Hey everybody, I'm really excited about this video in particular because it's featuring work of a fan, of a user of the Hilo Stick slash Arcade Stick Pro slash RetroArch, Samson Simpson. He's from the Telegram chat that I remember him from. But this guy, Samson Simpson, released a build for the Atari Lynx using RetroArch. And he did an awesome job. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. From the cover screen to the backgrounds to the sounds. I mean, it's a full package. So it's really neat. So there it is. And again, Atari Lynx is now available to an Arcade Stick Pro, Neo Geo Mini, and MVSX through RetroArch. So this is using the handy core from RetroArch, but on Arcade Stick Pro, you actually have the luxury of being able to use the user interface of the Arcade Stick Pro. So you can have like your covers, the loading, the animation, your settings, things like that that you normally I don't think you can do on the MVSX and possibly the Neo Geo Mini. I'm not too sure, but for sure the Arcade Stick Pro is unique in the fact that you can have this nice interface, which is super awesome. So take a look at this. I mean, check out the background. He's definitely utilizing like the Atari Lynx system stylings, right? There's just a lot of details like right here where you can see where you can confirm the number of games that are up there on the top right corner. It's very clear and it's got its own little spot. Even down where you can see that you have a USB drive inserted, it has its own little section. Really cool. So I'm going to take you through all the game lineup that's there. All these covers are ready to go. I'm actually going to include this whole build in my description. I'm going to provide a link to this without the ROMs. So you're not going to get the game files, but I will have it ready to go. All you'll have to do is just get your game files and drop them into your folder. But this build, the way you see it, you'll be able to enjoy it too on your Arcade Stick Pro. So if you take, just listen to the sounds. Those are unique. The icons for the settings symbols right here, settings and the help file and the copyright, those are custom made. When you go into it, it makes special sounds too. So let's listen to that. It's Atari, kind of cool. Even right here where the focus on the settings, that's unique too. It's like two Lynxes with, is it Lynxes or two Lynx? It's two Lynx systems with little eyeballs kind of blinking at you. That's different. Even down here in the headset volume, it's an Atari Lynx logo, Atari logo. I'm sorry. So you can move through that. Again, it's just a lot of custom stuff that was just done. Listen to the sounds too when you go in, and you get out. Just a lot of cool things that were done for it. So the last thing I'll do is I'll launch a game, but I want to kind of talk about this part too, the help file. I mean, this is kind of where you really see how much love this dude put into this, because there's 38 different files here. It starts going into like right here. It'll help you with the emulator and with all the button mappings, the default controls. Talks about RetroArch and how to do things, set your buttons. Gives you a history on the Atari Lynx. Gives you some ads. And towards the end, you start to get into like some Easter eggs and instruction manuals, stuff like that. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff in there. I'm not going to go over everything. I'm not going to spoil it for you. But there's just a lot of cool stuff. If you love the Atari Lynx or like the Atari Lynx or don't know anything about the Atari Lynx, this is just a great way to get yourself in there. A wonderful introduction to the system. And I mean, the best thing is you'll get to even try the games, which is really awesome. But even that, just the help file alone, just this right here, I mean, this is enough to kind of get you through. And that's pretty awesome. Just to, you can spend some time just reading through all this stuff. It's really fascinating, really cool stuff. I mean, again, Samson Simpson did an awesome job getting this out there. And the best thing is that this was something that was made by a fan, by a user, and he posted it out to the community and everybody so that everybody could enjoy it, which is really what it's all about, man. So I'm super, super proud of Samson Simpson for releasing this out. The work that he put into it, it's beautiful. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add that to my description so you can all download it and add it to your Arcade Stick Pro. Again, it's not gonna have any game files. The cool thing about this emulator too, you're not required to have any BIOS, because there's already something going on in the core where it either emulates the BIOS or it does something with this, I guess, the system. So you're not required to include a BIOS. Not like PlayStation and Sega CD and Neo CD. Even Neo Geo games require that BIOS file, that Neo Geo zip. So this particular emulator doesn't require that, which is great, because then really all you're going to need is just to find the files to launch these games. So let's go ahead and get into one of the games. Do something simple. I'm going to see if I can find like Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man. Oh, there's Pac-Land. There's Miss Pac-Man. Super simple game. There it is. So if you have, I mean, the only thing you can't do is you can't adjust the screen to a 4:3 ratio unless you have a TV that can do it. So most TVs can do it, but I have heard that a lot of folks don't have that capability. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that for mine. There we go. Cool. And then you can just get into the game. Pretty cool. Oh yeah. So let's just go ahead and show you that it is RetroArch. So there it is. So you are running RetroArch, and once you're in here, there's things that you can do. You can do your save states, load a save. Controls, I think you can adjust that. If there's cheats, that's probably something that you can add to it. But it is RetroArch running in the background, so I'm gonna go ahead and resume the game. And then to exit, you can just go back to your interface. Now you can see everything's kind of squished together because I'm in that 4:3 aspect ratio. But yeah, man, this is a super awesome job. Again, the download's going to be in the description. I guess, what else can I talk about? Oh, so what you would do is you would just download this, and I would recommend that you just drop this into a small USB stick that you have lying around, or a drive that works for your Arcade Stick Pro, and just run it independently of everything else. There are ways that you can integrate this into your Hilo hack. I'm not getting into that right now. I'm just going to let this be its own thing, because there are a couple of elements that you would miss out on if you integrated it into your Hilo hack, like a lot of the little sounds, even like maybe those icons too would probably be different, unless you want to keep those icons. Those have to remain universal for the whole system, so for all systems, so it might not match or make sense in other areas. But so everything that was built for this system is kind of independent of everything else, so it's its own entity. But again, it's very possible to integrate this into Hilo hack. Again, you'll just kind of be missing out on a couple of the elements. Some of the sounds, I mean, you can keep the sounds, but then it's going to be those, you're going to hear this every time you launch anything. Watch. You're going to hear Atari every time you go into, whether it's the settings in your Neo Geo or your Capcom or whatever. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's going to have the ASPH folder. It'll have a RetroArch folder and a ROMs folder, but the ROMs folder is going to be empty, obviously. RetroArch will be ready to go with everything, the core that you need and all that. And the ASPH folder is going to have your covers. It's going to have all the files that you need, the sounds, the animations, and all the things that you're seeing here on screen, ready to go. So really all you would need to do is add your files. And even if you didn't have the games, you can even just launch it and see this. But once you try to run a game, you're not going to be able to because you don't have it. But I mean, you can get this far, and you can even, check this out. Get into all the help file. Oh, there we go. So you can get into the help file and, do all those things, which is really neat. So just so you can check things out, but yeah, so anyways, great job, Samson. Super great. Hope you guys enjoy this. Hope you're excited about this and you want to try it on your Arcade Stick Pro. Get to it, man. Download it, check it out, get your games, drop them in your ROMs folder, and if you've never seen the Atari Lynx, this is your chance to explore it and see what you think about it. Again, it's an older system, but it's really cool. It was kind of ahead of its time. It did have link capabilities and the rotation of the screen, color display, a lot of cool stuff, man. It was a cool system. I had one, and it was expensive. I remember, paying close to $200 for the damn thing. But the games too weren't that cheap. But still, man, it's a cool system. Brings back some memories, and I just want to say an awesome job to Samson for his work in this, and also his commitment to the community and helping everybody out and sharing this with everybody. Super cool, man. Enjoy it.